Why am I not live? Ah, I think I'm live. I hear the music. So, yeah. Okay. Howdy, everybody. Happy Tuesday. I don't know where to put the microphone because I'm not at home. Obviously, no backpacks behind me. So, I'm not really even sure which camera I'm on. But we're going to talk about that tonight because I think this little camera is doing an amazing job. But I want to show you because the built-in camera on this MacBook Air is a really good camera. But since I had the little OBSBOT, I brought it with me too. And so we're going to kind of compare and see which one you guys like better, if it's the one on the MacBook Air or the OBSBOT. And I tried to get them to where they look about as equal as I can. The lighting, obviously, in this hotel room is not very good. Some hotel rooms have wonderful lighting and some do not. This one, it falls into the do not category. It's wonderful mood lighting. It's very soft, but not so good for making a video. So, but that's okay. You guys have dealt with dark corners of my world before, so it's just going to be a little bit dark tonight, but that's okay. I do have my two Ulanzi lights, which are helping a great deal, but this room is so dark. So if you were having a romantic getaway, it would be great, but it's just me, folks. So I'll have a romantic getaway with all my friends. How's that? In a nice dark hotel room. Let's see who's here. Miss Evelyn is first in line. Let's see if I can get you to scooch down just a wee bit. There we go. And get this off, maybe. I don't know how to get that off. Well, how do I get this off? Let's see. Can I move it? Can I move it somewhere I don't want it to be? Okay. Miss Evelyn, how are you, sweetheart? Hello, Sly. Came to visit and learn what you're selling. Well, I'm not really selling anything tonight. I do have the Ulanzi lights kind of lighting up my world right now. So I think I'm on the OBSBOT camera, and the lights don't look too bad, but you can tell that it's dark. It's really dark. You can kind of see the lights in my glasses, which I don't normally wear glasses because I have these huge monitors at home. But I'm on the road and I have a 14-inch MacBook Air. And so the comments are like teeny, 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 tiny. But I think I've got the audio set pretty normal. You guys let me know if it's not normal. And Scott is in here, second behind his mama, saying, hello, gang. How are you, Scott? How's the music thing going? Because I've been seeing a lot of your mom's posts, and you have been tearing it up. So I would love, love, love to take it when the weather's better. Take a drive up to Michigan and come hear you play. But we are on the road, and when I say we, I mean me and a couple of friends of mine. I am at a Hard Rock Casino and Hotel. Hard Rock Casino and Hotel. And they are downstairs gambling, and I am upstairs saving my money. So they were supposed to have some kind of a drawing or something, and so maybe they're winning. But so this is the OBSBOT in 4K. Scott, let me know what you think, because it didn't change anything. It still didn't change anything. Maybe this is not the OBSBOT. Let me point a finger at it. Okay, this is the built-in camera on the computer. So now that everyone is thoroughly confused, this is the built-in camera on the computer. I think it does a phenomenal job. Let me see if I can there we go. like I said, very, very, very dark room, and it still, I think, is doing a pretty good job. I think it's pretty sharp. It doesn't, you know, it's not so sharp that it makes me look 70, but I think it's doing an okay job. This is the OBSBOT. Okay, now I have them set almost identical. I think this one might be a little bit too bright. If you look at the this way, if you look at the bed in the background, it's a lot more yellow, and I'm a lot brighter. So I'm not really sure what I did to do that, but I think this one is just a tad bit overexposed, and this one is just a little bit dark. So you would think I could have found a happy medium, but I messed with it for like an hour and a half, and I finally just said, I just gave up. So I think something in the OBSBOT needs to be turned down a little bit. It doesn't have, this is an interesting point. The OBSBOT program that I have, it's like the Osmo Actions. You download a program and it gives you control of the camera because this little camera has no settings on it. So you do everything in the computer, in the app. And the app for my Mac Mini is 100% different than the app for the MacBook Air. So I didn't know that beforehand. So I kind of had to do this on the fly. But the settings are like the control panel is different. And, I'm an old lady, so I don't learn things just like Mr. Camera Junkie, okay? So I tried to get them set as close as I could, but I still think that the MacBook Air camera, which is a 1080p camera, forget the overexposure, okay? I still think it's a little bit better picture than the OBSBOT. So there's that, which kind of surprised me because the OBSBOT, I think, is a very comparable picture to my full-fledged camera, I think. I mean, when I look at them at home, I can actually put the OBSBOT on one screen and the camera on another screen and compare them. And I think they're very apples to apples, even though the camera is in 1080 and the OBSBOT is in 4K. On the screen and on YouTube, they look very similar. I think, and it looks like there's Mr. Camera Junkie there. See? Were your ears burning? I was trying to set these up, and I was very much thinking of you and how quickly that you could have gone through this new menu and how slowly I was going through it, or how unquickly. Scott thinks the Mac is much superior. It's a hard little camera to beat. And you don't really have to do anything. You just open the laptop and turn it on. And this is what you get. Now, I did play with the lighting on the one in the computer, because it kind of auto adjusts. And so when I added the Ulanzi lights, it kind of auto adjusted. So I still think it's just a touch dark, but I think the OBSBOT is a touch blown out. And like I said, I went through and I tried adjusting as much as I could, and I was chasing my tail. So I think we will stay with this one. If that's the general consensus, you can either see me a little bit dark or overexposed. Peter says, this looks good. Peter, this the MacBook Air camera or the Osmo or the OBSBOT. We got too many Oz's. This is the OBSBOT Meet 2. And this is the built-in camera on the MacBook Air. Lewis made it in. Hello, Sly. How are you? I'm fantastic. I'm on a little mini vacation with some friends, and as soon as we're through here tonight, I'm going to go downstairs and see if anybody want anything. And we won't be gone terribly long, but they all wanted to leave on Tuesday, and I'm like, hey, you know what? I have the laptop will travel, so I'm like, okay, we can leave on Tuesday. So finally made it into the doctor, and she said there's nothing wrong with me now. Now they did do, they took like a gallon of blood, and so we're pending results of that. But she said my lungs sound clear. I have a little bit of a sore throat still. She said that should go away in a week or so. Part of it too is the air quality right now in Oklahoma is really, really bad. We have had so much wind, and it's just stirring up so much dust. Friday, the sky was actually dirt colored. It wasn't gray. It was actually dirt colored because there was so much dust in the air. So and for some reason my mouse is working backwards. I'm not really sure why. Randy says, I like the OBSBOT 4K tiny light. It's a lot of fun. So that's the one with the gimbal, yes? That will kind of point and follow you, which would kind of been fun tonight, because then I could have gotten up and showed you my hotel room. If I'm going to take a lot of men to a hotel room, I'd at least like you to be able to see what it looks like, right? Peter says, MacBook Air camera is my vote. Yes. Yes, it's a little bit dark, but like I said, it is what it is tonight. Lewis says, hi, Randy. Did you find the one lens to rule them all? I don't think there is one lens to rule them all. Maybe one lens per camera, but I think every camera shoots better with different lenses. Lewis says, I can show you another time. You'll need to use the OBSBOT control center. Yes. So I did that, Lewis, to control the exposure. So I did that. But when I downloaded the control center in the laptop, it is different than the control center on my Mac Mini. I thought it would be the same. It's the same camera. Thought it would be the same, but no, apparently there's a mobile version and a not mobile version. And I was very familiar with the not mobile version because I've had it for a week or two, and I've played with it a lot. And so that's what I expected. Oh no, this one is completely different. So, but yes, I can go in and change the exposure reasonably quick. And I did. But the mobile one has all these built-in things. And so I just put it on none. I didn't use any of the built-in things. And I think I did lower the exposure several times. And this is what I got. So, yeah. As far as not counting exposure, I think this is 1080 and this is 4K. Honestly, let's see if I can do that without irritating everybody. Probably not. Yeah, probably not. Honestly, I think the 1080 is just fine. I've been saying that for a while. But I understand the rest of the world is going to 4K. I get it. It's a 4K camera. I can set it on 1080. But if you have the 4K capabilities, I just don't see why you wouldn't use them. Okay, let me turn that off. Randy says to Lewis, yes, Zeiss Batis 85mm f1.8 on the Sony A7C. So that is his perfect match for the Sony A7C. Now, he might have another lens he prefers on his Panasonics. So I'm not sure there is one, come to Jesus lens. Randy says, cold weather coming tomorrow, so winter isn't over. Yes, it is going to be cold. It was interesting because when we got here, there was quite a few people out swimming. So I don't know if that pool is heated. It's outside, and it was only like 60 degrees today. So that's too cold for this old lady to get in the water unless the water's heated. But then you still, at some point, you still have to get out of the water and into that 60-degree weather with the wind blowing. No thanks. I'll wait till July. Yeah. Or indoor pools. I like indoor pools. But this is probably, Lewis, I know you travel, and this is probably one of the easiest travel setups there is. Okay. Now, I know, Lewis, you could go in and you could just like, boom, fix the ISOs or what have you really quickly. And, I bet I can. Let's just play with it for a minute. If I can find this. There we go. I don't think y'all are seeing this. Maybe you are. I don't care. There we go. Okay, let's close that, close that, close that. Okay, so let's close that. Okay, so let's close that. Okay, let's bring this down a little bit. Here, I'm gonna put this on so you can see it while I'm doing it. Okay, so let's bring this down a little bit. Okay, so what do you think now? This is the OBSBOT. See, it doesn't have it's either open or closed. Oh, maybe there. Okay. This is the OBSBOT. So I really like the 4K version. I did send the 1080 back. I just didn't feel like, okay, so I'm using the 4K at home as my main camera, and I got the 1080 for my overhead camera. I was using a Sony ZV-1, and I just, when I was comparing them, I've got the dual monitors, so I can put one on one screen and one on the other. I just think the ZV-1 is clearer and sharper than the 1080. So I sent it back. Because if what I have is already better, why would I buy something different? Let's see. Lewis says, I want to try that combo, Randy. That's an expensive combo, Lewis. It's kind of you could rent it and it wouldn't be too bad. And that way you could try it and see if you like it and go from there. Save your pennies. Peter says the best lens is the 15 to 800 lens. It's made by the Come to Jesus company, and you can buy them in heaven. Lewis says, Sly, what is your one and done lens and camera combo? You can do it. Lewis, I love my M cameras. I do, truly do. They're small. The lenses are small. They take incredibly good pictures. So I'm kind of in the M camp. I think I'm the only person here that is. And even having said that, now, yes, if I'm going to take like portrait shots, which I did in Las Vegas of my good friend who's 92, I did take, I I took my M6 Mark II with the Mikey 35 millimeter, I believe it's a 1.8. It is the sharpest lens I have ever seen. It is also manual focus. So if I'm behind the camera, it's great. It's fine. Everything works great. It's not a good lens like to vlog with or not be behind the camera. So, you know, unless you're sitting still in one spot, because there is no autofocus. So yeah, you really need to be behind the camera with that one. Autofocus wise, I would love to get my hands on the 32 millimeter. I've got, I think I've got 11 or 12 lenses, and the 15 to 45 is a good all-rounder lens, and it's very inexpensive, and I have they come with every camera, so I have like 3 of them. But it's a great, let's go to the park and get some shots. These are not these are moments I can recreate. Okay, we can go to the park another day. My 92-year-old friend may not be here again for me to take shots of. So the importance of the shot kind of dictates to me the lens. And the 15 to 45, I can sneak up on the little booger and he just thinks I'm sitting on a bench, 50 feet away from him. So that lens has its place, but as far as sharpness and clarity and for really important can't do over shots, I like my 35 millimeter. I say Mikey. I think Peter found out it's actually pronounced Makey, but it looks like Mikey to me. So that's my Mikey lens. Lewis says, look for the image tab if it has one. Lewis, this on the MacBook Air, the control panel for the OBSBOT is not like the one for the MacBook Mini at all. It doesn't have like those tabs that the one at home has. And so it completely threw me for a loop. And then it has all this other stuff called Beauty, and it has like 10 different presets that you can put in there. Everything from black and white to sepia, And so I just checked none of those and tried to get it as pure as I could. But it kind of blew my mind, and it's not something that I would, should, or could figure out in an hour and a half. So there's that. Randy says, a lot better. Yeah, it's still, yes, it is better, but I don't know, guys. I just think the built-in camera is still the winner chicken dinner. But Lewis says, Peter, I want to try that lens. Is it f8 or 2.8 or 3.5 to 5.6? He would have to answer that, Lewis. I do not know. And there's Carlos, right on time. With the right settings, the OBSBOT should actually put the Mac camera to shame. Yeah, I don't know. Facts are that the lens is much better, especially in low light. See, that's kind of, I don't know. It should be. You're right. You're 100% right. It should be. I'm 100% sure it's user error. But I went through all the different options, and there's a lot more on the MacBook Air than there on the mobile version than there is on the desktop version. So yeah, and I changed the ISOs 4 or 5 times, and so I'm not sure if it is one of those things where it doesn't pick it up immediately. Maybe, I'm not sure. In Ecamm, open the camera effects window. Camera. camera effects. I think that's the, is that the little wand, the little magic wand thing? Scroll to the bottom, make sure 4K is checked. Okay, scrolling to the bottom. Apparently it's not the bottom. Okay, so on the OBSBOT, hang on. Well, it would have to be on the OBSBOT because the other one didn't have it. So, all right, let me go to the magic wand. I'm assuming that's where you're telling me to go. Scroll to the bottom, make sure that max resolution. I don't see a max resolution. Yes, I do. Okay, it says use max resolution and it's set to 1080. So that may be something in the control panel that I don't know about. There's a lot I don't know about. Oh, it's locked. Well, what? Let me change the other one. It should say somewhere. It should say. Nope. Locked. Unlock. Please unlock first to adjust the image. I did. Yeah. See, it doesn't say. It doesn't have the little tabs, Lewis. I need my tabs. Yeah, nowhere does it say on here. Maybe, no, that puts it to sleep. Yeah, I don't know, bud. Oh. Is it settings? Yeah, that's not what I want. What is this one? I don't know what that does. Oh, no, that's not what I want. That's no, I don't know. I'm not gonna worry about it too much. But yeah, I don't. If you're talking about the wand thing, I don't. Oh, it did say 1080. So we're just gonna go. We'll go back and forth a little bit. But I did set the OBSBOT to 4K because it did default at 1080, and I did change it to 4K. So. Let's see. I didn't know the price. The price? Expensive. Carlos says, is telling Lewis exactly. Yeah, it is on max resolution. So Peter says, when you turn brightness up or down in Ecamm, also turn the gamma up or down by half as much so it's matching slide. Of course, you're free to use another formula. Well, like I said, I played with this for too long. Lewis says, I love my EOS M and 22mm. Yes, good combination. Now, if you're trying to because, I'm short, and so I've got, my wingspan is not very long. So if I'm trying to vlog and talk to the camera, 22 is too close. It puts you right, I'm right in your face. And so for me, it's about 12. I have an 11 to 22, and I put it on 12. And that's pretty much the perfect length for my little short arms. Now, if you're, 6'4", your wingspan is a whole lot bigger than mine. And so 22 might be absolutely perfect. But, so you have to, there's so many things you have to take into account. Your body size, how close you want the audience to be in your face. And I have found that most people would prefer that I be, a respectable distance away. And I'm good with that. Uh, Carlos is saying that 22 millimeter is a great lens. Yes, it is. And it's pretty sharp. It's autofocus, so, it's amazing. But it still cannot hold a candle to my 35 millimeter manual focus. So there's a lot of companies that are making manual focus lenses they're not terribly expensive, and they're crystal clear. There's like what is it? TT Artisans. Mikey makes a great lens. There's something called 7 something that's gotten really good reviews. But I have found that I do much better with an autofocus lens because normally I'm not behind the camera. So if I'm out in front of the camera, I don't have a lot of control over what that lens focuses on. So if you're in front of the camera, you really need an autofocus lens. But the 22 is great. Where did you go? Oh, I lost my comments. Why did I lose my comments? Let's go back to here. Let's go to here. Nope, I have lost my comments. Okay. What else? Why not? Okay, well, Peter says, Lewis, let me flip it on you. What is your dream camera and lens that would be the one? Lewis says 24 millimeter pancake lens and Canon T6S. Peter, I love you. So the 24 millimeter with an adapter will fit on the M camera. And I have used it back at the old house when I had the cameras set up, and I think I had like 2 or 3 different cameras. I had a 22, a 24, and I think a 15 to 45. And I just had to scoot one of them back so that they looked about the same. Because it really doesn't matter what lens you're using, or it's all about framing the shot. And so for me, when I have multiple cameras, I kind of want to look the same. Now I tried that with this tonight, and it didn't work so well. But I'm kind of handicapped for me because I only have one screen, and it's a little bitty screen. So it's not what I'm used to. I'm used to having dual monitors, and they're big, and I can see everything without glasses, and So, but it's all good. We're still having a good time. I was told that I could not film downstairs, so, and that's okay. I didn't ask ahead of time or whatever, so that's okay. I get it. Lewis says, also, Sly, I hope you guys can read these because I don't know why they're not on the screen. They're just not. Not sure what I've done. I'm sure I've done something. It's okay. Let's see. Also, Sly, can you give me advice? I have the 35 millimeter 1.7 EOS M lens, and I want to use it more, but it's very challenging to use it wide open. What do you recommend? Why would you be using it wide open? And I didn't even know there was such a thing. So I'm probably not the one to give you advice because the 32, maybe it's not you said it's an M lens. I didn't even know there was one, Lewis. I know there's a 32. It's not 1.7, I don't believe. But I didn't, and so maybe it's one of, I don't know, Lewis. I have kind of researched the M lenses, and from Canon, and they make that awful 28, which is supposed to be a really good lens, but it has that stupid light around it. I don't want that light around it. So, but I do have my eye on the 32. It's a $400 lens. So, it will get added to the arsenal one of these days. Carlos says, you already look better and more natural with the OBSBOT. Okay, that's the OBSBOT. So, yeah, I think it's half a dozen one and 6 the other. The only lighting that I can say, and I have all the lights turned on in here, right? I love the over the bed light up here, but the rest of the lights are just these little bitty lamps, and so it's really hard to shoot in a really dark area, but it is what it is, right? And Roy, I don't know why I can't get my comments up here. I've done something, so I'm clicking away like they're showing up and they're not showing up, and so sorry guys. But anyway, he's saying good day, Sly. Good day, Roy. So my mouse is backwards. It's just one of those, typical live streams. Lewis is thanking Carlos and saying hello to Roy. Hello, friends. Going to clean out my closet and donate clothes this weekend. Love you all, and Sly. The 32mm would be nice to have autofocus on the lens. Yes. And I did the same thing. I went down Monday, I think. And, no, Sunday. I don't know what. Today's Tuesday. I think I went down Sunday. But anyway, I cleaned out the closet. I'm donating a ton of clothes. They're having a clothing drive for the local church. So they're going to be getting... I had a lot of clothes for little man that he never even wore. Which was kind of... I don't know. I guess I didn't have him enough and I overbought clothes. Roy says to Lewis, I'm up to clean out too. I need more space. Yes, I moved into a much, much smaller space, almost half, and not everything fits. So I'm trying to figure out what to do with furniture. And children, as a rule, don't want their parents' furniture. They want their grandparents'. So my kids don't really want any of my furniture. My grandson will probably at some point think something's cool, and if he's old enough to get his own place, he'll probably take Granny's furniture. So Randy says, okay, my Z6 Mark III, OBSBOT 1 and 2 have that setting to max resolution, but my ZF doesn't have that one. Have that setting to max resolution. Oh, on eCam? Lens hood or a filter, or crank the aperture from 1.7 to 4 and up. Okay. Is that in reference to what Lewis was asking? Maybe? Roy says, maybe your comments are hiding under the fridge. I think they're probably hiding behind one of these. There you are. You weren't under the fridge. You were just behind me. You were hiding behind me. Roy says, all my clothes would fit in one suitcase, but I can't say that for other things. Women are not so much. Like, there's a show I've been watching, and I kind of do the marathon thing, where I get hooked on a show and I kind of watch like however many seasons it is. And this guy is he calls himself a hobo. He has a pension from the army, so he's not vagrant, but he doesn't have a house. He owns the clothes that are on him, and that is it. And he's very particular about his toothbrush. His toothbrush goes everywhere with him. But I thought, that would drive me crazy. to be in one shirt every single day of my life and one pair of pants every single day of my life. I'm pretty sure he only owns one pair of underwear. Yeah. So, but, Hollywood. Roy says, my wife collects antiques, including me, but the kids don't want them. Right. But the grandkids, when the grandkids get grown, it will probably be a different story. I'm just saying. So, now that I brought the ISOs down, I still think the coloring is just a little better. I need to aim this down a little bit, but then when I do, it's going to mess everything else up. But I don't know, guys. I still think the coloring is a little better on the MacBook Air camera. I mean, I know it's settings. I know. Don't give me a hard time. I'm aware. But I don't know. And it does drive me crazy that you can see the light in my glasses. But I tried several different ways of where to put those, because my lights at home are, huge, and they completely face like away from me, and I have these just two little bitty lights that, and they bounce off the white walls back to me, and then I have these two little bitty lights that just light me up enough, but they're not distracting. These Ulanzi lights are very distracting. They're like in your face, right? So, but it beats, being in the dark in a cave. And that's very much what this room is like. As soon as I walked in, I was like, okay, where's the light? Women have to put makeup on, and usually there's something in the room outside of the bathroom that has a bright light. This room has reading lights. I don't know if you can see the cute, this way, the cute little guitars on the pillowcases. They're kind of cute. But, and if I move, maybe, yeah, that little, this way, no, this way. This little black box right there is actually a reading light. And it's about this big around. It's not very big, this big around. And it's super, super bright. And I could have used those and sat on the bed. Awkward, a little bit. So for my only other option was the bathroom. So I'm just not going to sit in the bathroom. And I know Lewis has done a live stream from the bathroom, and he did a very good job. Nah, I'm not so much like that. Randy says, answering Lewis's question about the 1.7. Yes, in Ecamm for maximized to 4K using OBSBOT Center. Yes, I opened that, and I don't know what I did. I don't know. So I will be home before next Tuesday. So it's kind of all moot. It was just, when I get back home, I will work on the mobile OBSBOT Center and try to get it figured out best I can. But at home, it's so different because I don't have these lighting issues. So, but I did get two of the Ulanzi, so I wouldn't be shadowed on one side. I've got equal lighting on the sides. And I played with those, and I think they're doing an okay job. I'm very happy with those. And at home, I'm very happy with the OBSBOT. It's just, I did it again, didn't I? No. Okay. This is the MacBook Air camera. Yes. So, Lewis says, thank you for sharing your joy with us, Sly and friends. Well, thank you, Lewis. You bring joy to the whole group. So thank you. Guys, it's always something a little bit different. I'm going to make tonight a little bit short because, like I said, I do have Friends kind of downstairs waiting for me. I did ask them if any of them wanted to be on the live stream, and yeah, they're all like, "Oh, don't put me on camera." Okay, so they just don't really understand. Thank you, Randy. I will start with f.4 on my manual lenses. Yeah, it's just really hard unless you're taking a picture of somebody else. Now, you might really, really want some pictures of your grandmother. If you've got a really sharp manual lens, use that because you'll be behind the camera. You can fix whatever you need to fix. I actually got some wonderful pictures of May. But the last time I went for Thanksgiving, I just took my Osmo Action. And I'm supposed to go again in May, but we'll see. I am probably going to go back to work. I don't know where yet. And Lewis says, enjoy, Sly. You also. And good luck with the clean out. Randy says, put it in program mode and then aperture to see which gives you the best settings. Put what in program and aperture? Oh, you're talking to Lewis. Never mind. Okay. I got you. And Scott says, thank you for taking time out of your vacation to stream for us. I wouldn't miss it, you guys. I wish you all were here with me. That would just be a hoot. So we need to think of someplace like central to the majority of us. Which if we take Australia out of the mix, it would probably be like Kansas or Nebraska. I don't know what there is to do in Kansas and Nebraska, but that's kind of the middle of the country, right? So, but yes, it would be such a hoot to get to meet everybody. So I feel like I know most of you because we've been hanging out at Peter's for 3 or 4 years. And so I feel like I know most of you, but it's just like when I got to meet Lewis, Mr. Camera Junkie, it was really nice to be able to put a 3D version in my head. So now when he says something, I can hear his voice and I can kind of see him in 3D. And so that was really nice. And Randy's saying ditto. Lewis is saying love you, Sly. And Roy's saying I'm rejected again. I can just hear him. I can, Roy, one of these nights I'm going to have, the panel again, and I really want you to be on it because you're not rejected. Okay, it's not my fault you live completely halfway around the world. If you ever come to America, if you ever come to the United States, I don't care where you go, I will go there to meet you. So if you ever take a trip to Florida or New York, or heaven forbid New York, but wherever, if you ever land stateside, I will be there to meet you. And that's a promise. So you are not rejected, young man. You just live too dadgum far away. Scott says, I'm okay with Kansas and Nebraska. Yeah, that's like Randy can come from Texas. You can come from Michigan. It's about halfway for you guys. Carlos could come from Los Angeles. Mr. Camera Junkie can come from Florida. That's about halfway for just everybody, Randy says, folks, nice chatting with you as always. And Sly, you're doing great. Have a great week. Cheers. Yep. Lewis says, bye, Roy. We love you, mate. I love that. Roy says, I missed the last panel because I wasn't near a camera. That's cool. I mean, I'll do them again. I think next week is going to be on my favorite finds of 2024. You guys seem to kind of enjoy that. So, and then maybe the week after we might do another party. So, guys, I love you all to pieces. Thank you all for coming in, and thank you for bearing with my little dark setup here. Uh, we will we will do it again next Tuesday. And I think Peter's on Friday. Mr. Camera Junkie is on Saturday. And I think this Saturday is 4 years. 4 years straight in a row without missing one single episode. That is just an amazing achievement. We should get a little, I don't know, a little medal or something, because I don't know anybody else that has gone for 4 years without missing one single episode. So congratulations, young man. Carlos says, we need a full panel next time. Yes, we will. We will. When people have more notice, they tend to show up. And Roy's saying bye to all. And thank you guys again. And I will see you next Tuesday. Have a great week, everybody. I will try to be in Peter's show on Friday. I think I'll be home. And I'm not sure about Saturday. So I will see you guys next Tuesday for sure. Love y'all so much, and see you next week.